What can transgenders tell us about your grumpy old man? What? What's that got to do with anything, mate? Well, let me tell you. Okay, so transgender scientific research is particularly interesting due to the fact we see, well, the change of gender. It's pretty mad anyway, but the way that they go about it is particularly interesting due to the fact that for a woman to transition into a man, she needs to be provided with testosterone therapy, which raises her natural levels of testosterone up to that of a natural male. So what we see in this case with a lot, or the majority of these people who transition from women to man, is that they become happier, more satisfied with life, and less likely to transition back to a woman. This increase in general happiness and well-being has been correlated due to the fact that we see the increase in testosterone. And on the flip side, from people who are transitioning from men to women, we obviously see a decline in testosterone as women naturally have a lot less testosterone in their body, and what we see is generally the mental health of those transitioning from men to women tends to degrade somewhat, and that can be correlated due to the lack of testosterone in their body, and they are more likely to want to revert back to being men. Now, what has that got to do with anything about your old man? Well, as men, we see a natural decline in testosterone from approximately the age of 30 year on year by a small percentile, but over the years it ticks up, and what we can see is symptoms of low testosterone in your dad or your old man or your granddad or whatever. Now, we can see these signs of low testosterone through increased fatigue, increased body fat, lower sex drive, just generally worse mental health, and you can sort of tend to recognise these signs when you know the symptoms. We tend to see the symptoms at a level of 400 nanograms per decilitre in men. However, you are only generally clinically low testosterone when you hit 220 nanograms per decilitre. So in this sense, because it has such a profound impact on your health and your mental health, what I would generally advise for most people is to go on testosterone replacement therapy if they are suffering with these symptoms of low testosterone. That being said, we can bring your natural testosterone up until a good and positive range where your old man just starts to feel good, and less of that grumpy old man syndrome, and just feels like a fresh younger man. Now, why would you not want that? Being in a natural range has no negative side effects. It's not like you're going into a super physiological range like a bodybuilder or something like that. A couple of things that you want to note if you do go on testosterone replacement therapy, or advise it to your dad, is that you do not need an AI or an aromatase inhibitor. We see this commonly prescribed by doctors to limit your estrogen, or to bring it down basically, due to injection frequency being maybe once every 2 weeks, The reason we see higher estrogen is because with sharp rises in testosterone, we see sharp rises in estrogen. Now, estrogen up until a point is very protective, it's very positive, but past a certain point it can have some negative side effects. So we want to control it, and that's why the doctors want to control it. However, you can completely mitigate using an aromatase inhibitor by just increasing injection frequency, so as often as you can tolerate. The best frequency is daily, injecting your testosterone daily, and that means you'll never have to use an aromatase inhibitor. And the reason we don't want to use an AI is because it has quite a lot of deleterious or negative effects on one's health, liver function, kidney function, etc. And there's no need for it. If you notice these effects in your old man, try and convince them to get some blood tests done. Have a look at their testosterone, natural testosterone and free testosterone. If it comes back clinically low or less than 400 nanograms per decilitre, then you can take a look at having some testosterone replacement therapy to bring your old man back from being a grumpy old geezer to a sprightly top lad. Okay, hope that helps in some way, shape or form. Bye bye.